From KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Well, a mother looking for answers after her daughter was found dead outside an apartment complex over the weekend. What police are telling her this morning.
And a local church still finding ways to give back despite losing it all, what they're hoping for during their time of need.
Plus, a new law going into effect in Texas in just 2 days, already impacting students at the University of Texas at San Antonio, and how it could impact you. Hi, good morning. It is December 2nd, and of course, very chilly morning.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely grab the jackets. But also, it's perfect weather to try out a new drinks, of course. Starbucks. They always have something new. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're adding some items back for the holiday season.
Okay, so if you're a fan of eggnog, you know what? Growing up, I was not a big fan of eggnog. I've kind of turned into that. But starting today, you could try out their eggnog latte and eggnog cream cold foam. Hopefully I get this correct. Or their chestnut praline latte. Steph, which one of these sounds good to you?
All
the above?
Well, I'm not a huge fan of eggnog, but maybe, you know, Starbucks will put their magic in it and it'll make it taste better. Maybe the chestnut. Yeah, maybe I'll give that. What about you?
Okay. You know what? I would try the eggnog one out, but you know what? Right now, I don't really want to I spent a lot of money yesterday,
Yeah,
Cyber.
I know.
Spending $10 for a drink just to try one of these out. I may have to hold off on that for a little bit.
I want to thank my mother in advance for all the gift cards she's given me to Starbucks, because I definitely pull that, pull that out when we were going through the drive-through. But actually, before I try this, to be honest, I want to try I think it's like a Christmas cookie one.
Yeah, so there's a Christmas cookie one. I know a lot of folks are into the matcha lattes right now with the protein cold foam and all this crazy stuff out there.
It's too fancy.
A lot going on with Starbucks.
Too fancy for us, and definitely too fancy for our Justin Horn, right? You're going to try any of these drinks?
Justin's racing to get these.
Yeah, he's going to put on his jacket to fight the 37 degrees out there.
So you guys know me very well, I think, at this point. Yeah, not for me. It was cold, though, this morning. I did have hot chocolate, so that's about as close as I get to the coffee realm. Anyway, yes, we started off in the 30s. We're starting to see things warm up now that the sun is out, and that'll be the difference today. We got sun versus all the cloud cover that we were dealing with yesterday. So let's take a look outside. And right now it is 41, so we're up from that low this morning of 35. We did not get down to freezing in San Antonio, but there were a few spots in the hill country that did get awful close. 41 New Braunfels, 41 Converse. Wind chill values are still, though, in the 30s. 35 is what it feels like right now in Converse. Your forecast today will be up around 52 by noontime, 59 for high this afternoon with mostly sunny skies. So it does turn into a nice day, but we are going to get on a roller coaster. 65 tomorrow. Hands up, woo, 45 on Thursday. That is the big drop. And there will be 50 Friday. We'll get rain. It'll just be kind of cold and winter-like Thursday and Friday. Not wintry weather, but just, you know, cold and damp. Then we take a big ride up the hill to 70 on Saturday, only to come down a little bit, 68 and 63 there Sunday and Monday. So just get ready for temperatures to be all over the map, all over the board. Coming up, we're going to break down those rain chances for you, though, specifically Thursday and Friday, coming up in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Well, now to your top stories at 9 this morning. We are waiting for autopsy reports after a Texas A&M student from Laredo was found dead outside an apartment complex just west of the UT campus. Now, the student was 19-year-old Brianna Aguilar.
So her mother, Stephanie Rodriguez, tells KSAT that she's hearing inconsistent information from Austin police about Brianna's death. Rodriguez told us that officers believe her daughter's deadly 17-story fall was either an accident or a suicide attempt. However, Austin police say that Aguilar's death is not being investigated as a homicide because so far there's nothing suspicious. Investigators are waiting for the exact cause of her death. Rodriguez says that her daughter was not suicidal.
She told us that Brianna was working towards law school, and she was in Austin for the Texas versus Texas A&M game and had called her mom after it ended.
I'm traumatized right now at how they're treating this. My daughter deserves justice. I want to know what happened. Why wasn't I notified? Why weren't things done the way that they're usually done in an investigation, especially a death?
Well, we asked Austin police about this, and they told us, quote, the case is still under investigation and cause of death hasn't been ruled on at this time, end quote. Well, local family is anxiously waiting for 32-year-old Alexandra Rodriguez to wake up. She's fighting for her life in a medically induced coma.
So Rodriguez was a victim of a hit and run back on November 8th, and police say she made it home to her apartment on the west side when someone leaving hit her as they pulled out and left her for dead.
And he tried to leave, and he crashed into the gate, and when he couldn't leave, he got off and started walking. So the passenger got in the driver's seat and waited till the gates opened for them to drive off.
Well, the family tells us that she has 2 skull fractures and she's now had surgery twice. They hope her recovery will progress.
But in the meantime, they're all trying to fill the role of mom for Alexandra's sons. They are 10, 16, and 17 years old. So far, San Antonio police tell us that they have no suspects in custody.
Well, San Antonio police are investigating a shooting on the city's southeast side after a woman was shot while walking home. Yeah, this happened overnight. That woman was shot in the hip area and is recovering this morning. San Antonio police say that this all happened just after 2 o'clock this morning on South Cross Boulevard on the south side. That is near Pecan Grove Drive. They say that a woman was walking home from her parents' house when a dark-colored car drove past her and someone inside opened fire. Now, she did walk back to her apartments where she called someone for help. Well, dozens of new laws in Texas are set to go into effect on Thursday, and Senate Bill 8, also known as the bathroom bill, is one of them. So it is designed to prevent transgender people from using certain state-owned or public bathrooms that do not match their sex assigned at birth. Yeah, so we've been following this story very closely. This will also include county and city buildings, agency buildings like the TxDOT building, the Texas Department of Public Transportation, public schools, and open enrollment charter schools as well, also public universities. So this morning, we're already seeing how this is playing out at a campus right here in San Antonio. And our Courtney Friedman spoke with a local mother who tells us UTSA sent her daughter an email saying she would have to move dorm rooms, not because she or her roommate are transgender, but because they're opposite sexes.
Yeah, guys, we're actually in a mixed gender dorm, meaning people ask to live with different genders, but it's not going to be this way come Thursday.
There's going to be a problem. We're not going to be able to do this in one trip.
It's the moving day UTSA sophomore Katarina Rendon and her mom never wanted.
So when you moved in, you knew that you had a male roommate?
Yes.
And that wasn't a problem?
No, not at all. I had actually chosen to be in mixed gendered housing because I felt more comfortable with people that aligned with me.
Do you identify with LGBTQ?
Yes.
But she's not transgender. She just happens to have a roommate who's a man. So according to the state's new bathroom bill, SB 8, they cannot share a bathroom. The bill says bathrooms can only be shared by people assigned the same sex at birth. Supporters say it will create more secure private spaces.
They're separating brothers and sisters, they're separating couples. You choose to live with who you want to live with, and they're taking that choice away.
She got several emails from UTSA which explained she and others had to move so the school could comply with SB 8. Katarina is worried for transgender students.
So it's just creating a dangerous environment. Like, you could have a transgender individual who rooms with their friend, and then all of a sudden they're moved with someone who has like violent tendencies towards people like that.
She, like many other Texans, wonder how this will be enforced.
I don't understand how you can police this to fully consenting adults.
There are penalties for organizations or universities who do not comply with the bill, and that is what UTSA is trying to avoid. From the UTSA campus, Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News. Well, there are penalties for organizations or universities that do not comply with the bill, and that's what UTSA is trying to avoid.
So we reached out to the university for comment, and they said, quote, Texas Senate Bill 8 does not require students to move dorms. The law regulates access to multi-occupancy restrooms, locker rooms, and similar facilities based on sex assigned at birth, end quote.
Here's a look at today's 9 at 9. So you can check your flights if you or someone you know is traveling today. A powerful new cross-country storm is slamming tens of millions from the Midwest to the Northeast with heavy snow and ice, causing some widespread travel disruptions. So more than 8,300 flights are delayed and more than 500 are canceled so far.
Well, this morning, lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs are trying to stop the release of a new Netflix docuseries that is out today. The series contains never-before-seen footage of Combs debating strategy with his lawyers in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last year. Now, Combs' lawyers are demanding that Netflix pull that series altogether, threatening legal action and claiming that Netflix is using stolen footage that was never authorized for release.
The son of notorious Mexican drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman has pleaded guilty to U.S. drug trafficking charges, and prosecutors allege he and his brother ran a faction of the Sinaloa cartel that exported fentanyl to the U.S.
Eli Lilly announcing that Zepbound will cost less for those who buy the medication straight from that drug maker. So these cuts range anywhere from $50 to $100. The company saying their officials say that this move will help fight, quote, cost and coverage barriers.
Costco, now the latest company to sue the Trump administration for refunds if the Supreme Court tosses the president's tariffs. The High Court heard arguments over the tariffs last month.
Well, the company behind everything from Sharpie pens to Yankee candles now says that it will lay off over 900 people. That is 10% of its workforce. These layoffs at Newell Brands will start later on this month. The company is crediting automation and AI for these job cuts.
Well, Amazon now testing what it is calling ultra-fast deliveries in parts of Seattle and Philadelphia. It says that thousands of items plus groceries could arrive less than half an hour after an order is placed. That speedy delivery costs about $4 for Prime members and $14 for non-Prime members.
Okay, well, Cyber Monday on track to be a record-breaking day. Adobe Analytics says that when all the receipts are added up and counted, online shoppers will likely have spent somewhere around $14 billion just yesterday alone. The shopping frenzy ramping up through the evening with $16 million expected to pass through online shopping carts every single minute.
And the Transportation Security Administration set another record for daily screenings Sunday after Thanksgiving, which was November 30th. More than 3.1 million passengers were screened by TSA. That marked the busiest travel day in the agency's history.
I got my vacuum. That's all I could say. At a pretty good discount, yes.
Glad you got your discount on Cyber Monday. Yes. Well, the time now is 9:09 and we're at 41 degrees for now.
Still ahead on GMSA at 9 o'clock, a local church that also serves as a food pantry is now out of a home. After the break, what they're hoping for and how they are still giving back despite what they lost.
And today, of course, Giving Tuesday, a chance to donate to your favorite charities online. How can you give back and also stay cautious to avoid scams? Welcome back. It's 9:14 and today is Giving Tuesday. So this is a chance to give back to your local charities and also nonprofits by making a donation online, big or small.
Absolutely. So you can also give by volunteering at your favorite local nonprofit organization, especially during the holiday season when it typically tends to get a little bit busier. However, if you are choosing to donate online, it's smart to do a little bit of checking before you go ahead and hit that donate button. You want to make sure that you're spending and also sending your donation to the right place.
This will tell you how much money went into services or program expenses, and you can compare that to administrative costs and fundraising. Some low-rated charities have names that sound like those of high-rated ones. If you're solicited, ignore the email or text message or simply hang up the phone.
Well, online giving platforms and social media fundraisers with crowdfunding websites are popular. Just make sure you know and trust the person who's raising the money.
Okay, bottom line is that it's okay to be skeptical anytime that you're looking to give, so it ends up going to the right place.
And this morning, a local food pantry that serves hundreds of families is now without a home. This is due to a fire, and it happened over the weekend in a church near Leon Valley. Now, Rivers of Hope Ministries is looking for a temporary space to help people.
And all of this despite not even having a place to call home. They are still doing what they can to give back to the community.
It's very important right now with the economy and everything going on for us to continue to serve the people. Hopefully we will come back stronger and bigger than ever.
Well, in the last few months, Rivers of Hope has gone from serving 50 families a month to 250 families a month. They hope someone will lend them a space to continue doing the work that they do. If you'd like to learn more about this story, you can head over to our website at KSAT.com. You can see the video there, everybody bundled up.
Yeah, definitely got little beanies, little hoodies as well, yes. And Justin is with us now. You didn't hurt yourself on that roller coaster, right? Don't worry about you.
Especially when we're going down.
Mess up your back.
Yeah, well, you know, at my age, that can happen pretty easily. But at any rate, yeah, we've got a lot of ups and downs this week. It was cold this morning. We didn't quite get down to freezing here in San Antonio, but there's some places that did. I want to show you the map here. This was from earlier this morning. We reached 30 in Kerrville, 32 Hondo, 28 in Fredericksburg, 32 in Rock Springs. So those were the areas that were sub-freezing or right at freezing. And so it's in San Antonio, we just didn't quite get there. We got down to 35. So we still have not experienced freeze so far this year in the metro. And we don't have any freezing temperatures in the forecast. So after today, we see the lows kind of moderate a little bit. But the average first freeze in the towns that I have circled are places where the reporting sites have been at or below freezing. Our average first freeze here in San Antonio is actually November 30th. But look, that is an average. We've seen it as early as November and as late as, way into December. So really, it can happen any time, but we're just not going to see it this week. And so we're still waiting for that first freeze. It has not happened yet. Temperatures right now, 41 here in San Antonio, 39 Helotes, 36 Bernie, 34 Comfort, 35 in Kerrville. So we are starting to warm up, but slowly. And then I'd say over the next couple of hours, you'll see some kind of bigger gains. 36 is the current wind chill, 35 in Converse, 38 Stetson. Feels like 36 right now in Floresville. And hour by hour, we'll be at 48 at 11 o'clock, noontime 52. And then this afternoon, 59 for the high. Mostly sunny. Turns into a pretty nice day. We just got to get through this cold morning. 48 degrees at 8 p.m. and 46 at 9 p.m. Mostly clear. Let's look at the futurecast now. And today is going to be spent with mostly clear skies. But we get moisture trying to come back in late tomorrow. That will result in some cloud cover. No rain just yet. Then a front slides through early Thursday morning. With this front, we'll get gusty winds in a pretty big drop in temperatures, but then behind it, we'll get the overrunning situation. So you have cold air at the surface, and then you have flow up above that, which brings in little disturbances and can kick up some showers, even some, I can't even rule out a couple of thunderstorms here. This is around 10 a.m. Thursday morning. Now look, I don't think we're going to get a lot of heavy rain because it is pretty dry at the surface. But I do think that we'll see some showers, and if we're not seeing showers, we may see some drizzle. So in a general sense, it's just damp and cold as we get into Thursday. And then Friday, we'll see a few more disturbances roll through. So that means more of this just light shower activity. I do think this all comes to an end Friday evening. And at that point, we'll start to see some clearing. And then as we get into the weekend, actually gets quite warm. Rain chances will be at 40% Thursday and Friday. But again, if we're not seeing some of these showers and maybe even, again, a thunderstorm or two, then we will be looking at drizzle. It's not going to be so nice. Very sort of just late fall, early winter type thing that we'll deal with. So 59 degrees today, 65 Wednesday. There is your front Thursday. And do know when the front comes in, which we think it'll be right at about sunrise Thursday, we'll get some gusty north winds and temperatures will fall into the 40s and they'll stay there. They're not going to move much, so we'll be right in the mid-40s throughout Thursday. Friday, it's going to be hard to warm up as well, but again, we do get some clearing late Friday night. And then by Saturday, morning fog, mostly sunny, and we gain 20 degrees. That's that roller coaster ride. And then on Sunday, 68 for the San Antonio Marathon. But when the marathon is going on, I think we'll be in the 50s, so that will be pretty close to ideal for our runners. We get another weak front coming through, and that will cool us down a little bit for early next week. But Thursday's kind of the day we are highlighting, so don't get caught off guard. Umbrella, coat, you'll want it both probably Thursday and Friday.
We'll just remember the roller coaster, what to expect between Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes, so we go from 65 to 45 back up to 70. It's
okay.
It's
South
Texas.
The
Something
rattler
for everybody. Yeah, the rattler.
The rattler out there.
Yeah, hold on for sure. The time now is 9:20 and we're at 41 degrees for now.
That's right. So coming up in just a bit, paying more but getting less. That's what's looming over consumers as they head into the holiday shopping season. What experts are saying is driving this.
Plus, the TSA announcing a new option for travelers who are trying to fly without a real ID. What this means for you and your next flight. Welcome back. It's 9:24. Well, the TSA has announced a new option for travelers trying to fly without a real ID. So those passengers will now be able to pay a $45 fee to use an alternative identity verification system called TSA Confirm ID. So that alternative ID would be available for a 10-day travel period.
But there are other authorized forms of ID, and that includes a passport or a DHS Trusted Traveler Card. For those that don't, the new TSA Confirm ID option will be available. That starts on February 1st of next year.
Well, there is a sense of shrinkflation hovering over the holiday season. U.S. consumers are paying more but getting less, according to Salesforce. Analysts there say online shopping in the U.S. rose by 3% on Black Friday. However, that was caused in part by a 7% hike in prices.
So Salesforce says that historic tariff increases are a large factor in these pricier products. Consumers are also buying more expensive items, including luxury and home goods.
Time now is 9:25, and we're at a chilly 41 degrees for now. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Absolutely, including this. If you stepped outside lately, you may have noticed definitely a chill out there still ahead. We're going to tell you what CPS Energy is doing to stay prepared for the cooler weather.
Welcome back. It's 9:29. Well, a police officer captured on his own body-worn camera disparaging a local business owner and his company.
This incident now leading to an internal affairs investigation in the city of Live Oak.
By the way, they're definitely hiding money somewhere here.
Oh, yeah. I was surprised because I had never had any encounters with this officer before. I never met him in my life.
And it gets worse for Damon Fogley. Live Oak police this fall arrested him after city staff reported him snooping around a restricted area.
And of course, our Dylan Collier tracked down the story for KSAT Investigates. He joins us now.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dylan. Thank you for being here. First of all, how did that body camera footage come to light?
Yeah, this officer, Jacob Esquivel, was assisting the comptroller's office in June while they seized money and alcohol from Fogley's business. Fogley had fallen behind on turning in monthly sales tax reports, so he owed a large debt to the state, around $50,000. Agents collected money from a safe and planned to auction off the alcohol to help cover that debt. A manager at the business overheard Esquivel joking that he was going to buy up the bottles of seized booze for pennies on the dollar, which prompted Fogley to request the footage. Internal Affairs is now looking into the comments made by that officer.
So a lot of different factors going into this, Dylan, but why did Fogley ultimately end up in handcuffs?
Yeah, this was a situation where he had butted heads with the city of Live Oak dating back to before he even opened this entertainment venue. Fogley says he went to City Hall to file an ethics complaint and then walked into a restricted area to see if city administration was avoiding him. Live Oak police contend Fogley had been wandering around city buildings and acting suspicious multiple times within a week. He was charged with criminal trespass, and they tacked on a resisting arrest charge as well.
So he was hanging around the buildings? Did he say?
Yeah, he said he went to file a complaint. No one would take his complaint. No one would come out to him. So he started to look around to essentially see if city administration was avoiding him on purpose. And according to him, accidentally went into a restricted area. Live Oak police say that he purposely went into a restricted area and was acting strange. At one point had a broom with him, tried to give food to the fire department. So they sort of charted his comings and goings from city offices and eventually said, you know what, you crossed into a restricted area, we're going to charge you with criminal trespass. And then they added the resisting arrest charge.
Okay, a lot of details.
Escalating feud, yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much, Dylan, for joining us right now. And again, we're going to have Dylan's story later on. You can watch the full investigation tonight on the KSAT 12 Night Beat.
Thank you, Dylan. Okay, looking out there with a live cam. Still a cold 41 degrees. Justin said we didn't hit freezing, but for a lot of people, it was still fairly cold out there.
Yes. We have temperatures right now in the low 40s, so we're starting to see things warm up a little bit, but it's going to take some time, and I think by noontime you'll see those numbers climb into the 50s. Pollen count is in. It's so much better than it's been. 170. Molds are low, so that's a huge improvement from where we've been last couple of days. Molds had been a real problem, and still no mountain cedars, so we love to see that. Headlines. This week, ups and downs. It's going to be a real roller coaster ride. Cold front Thursday is going to be the reason for all of that. A big cool down Thursday with some rain in the forecast too. Rain chances, showers, drizzle Thursday and probably part of Friday before we get some improvement by the weekend. Then it will be back to some warmth and sun by Saturday and Sunday. So that times out well. Temperatures today will be near 59 here in San Antonio, right around 60 really here in the metro, 62 Comfort, 62 in Kerrville, 59 New Braunfels. An improvement from this morning's cold temperatures. And yes, it gets a little bit warmer tomorrow before that front hits. We'll take a look at some of the rain chances, how much rain we may see, and look ahead to the weekend too, coming up in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Well, you can feel that chill outside this morning. CPS Energy says it has finished all the maintenance needed to keep power reliable this season. So the company says it has over 11,000 megawatts available for customers.
Now, 1 megawatt can power about 250 homes on average. The company, CPS Energy, says that their power plants also got upgrades to protect against freezing, and they'll use smart tech and drones to spot problems earlier on.
We are ready for anything that Mother Nature has to throw at us this winter, but I'm proud of the fact that it's been quite some time since we've had a winter or summer event that has impacted our customers, and we hope to keep it that way this winter season.
And that right there, CPS Energy CEO Rudy Garza. So CPS also reminding you to keep an eye on your thermostat and that CPS will not disconnect accounts for non-payment during extreme weather conditions. Okay, let's give you a quick update on the roads. You're about to step outside right now. Things are pretty busy during our 8 o'clock hours, specifically on the north side of town along 281 and 1604, but traffic is moving along there. There's an airport shot for us. If you're about to hit up San Antonio International Airport, another shot there, 281 Thousand Oaks. You see the traffic has improved from what we just saw in the past hour or so. We are still in the process of clearing out things I-10 at 1604, where there was reports of a crash over by Lock Hill, Selma that may have involved a few vehicles. So stay safe if you're headed out to the far northwest side.
All right, thank you, RJ. Speaking of traveling on the roads, many people have been paying less to fill up their tanks lately. However, listen up, things are about to change, and we talked to the head of petroleum analysis for GasBuddy, and he says after the big decline that we had last week, don't be surprised if you start seeing those prices pop higher this week.
All right, that's absolutely because Texas right here, the Lone Star State, Colorado, the Great Lakes, also Florida, all of these markets, they all engage in something that's called price cycling, which is a 1.5 to 2 week cycle.
Prices plummet for about a week and a half or two until stations are selling at or below their cost. That causes then stations to re-raise prices back to where they should have been. And I think that's going to happen later this week. So watch out for a big potential jump at pump this week. It has nothing to do with the price of oil, but everything to do with the fact that prices plummeted very quickly.
Well, GasBuddy had projected the average national price at the pump on Thanksgiving dropped to about $3.02. So to put things in perspective, as of today, the national average for a gallon of gas is right at $3. San Antonio's average for a gallon is at $2.51, and the state average is $2.57.
Okay, not too bad, but again, don't be surprised if you see some of these prices at the pump go up a little bit. So if you're headed to work later today, maybe getting a little bit later starts, and you have a tank that's less than half full, I know a lot of folks, including myself, have that. It may be a good idea to just go ahead and fill up while you can. Patrick DeHaan with GasBuddy says that you may even want to shop around to find a gas station that actually might be lower than $2.29.
Yeah, if you had the time. I was telling RJ yesterday it was like $2.44.
Yeah, which is actually not bad.
Still not bad.
I did see it a little bit over $2.50 yesterday over by my HEB.
Oh,
Here we go.
You need to go another location. Well, if you're looking for bands or beer, North St. Mary's Street, of course, is the place. The strip's synonymous with San Antonio nightlife. However, we talked with a developer who has ideas for something a little different.
Okay, so this is interesting. In between all these spots that are in the mix, of course, like the Brass Monkey, KSAT reporter Garrett Berger explains how they want to keep it busy just during a different time of the day.
The St. Mary's Strip can be a busy place, but mostly once the sun's gone down.
What we want to do with this project is activate it during the daytime.
George Womack is the head of Headwall Investments, which has plans to renovate or maybe expand some older homes on the Strip for new businesses.
They need some love. But at the same time, a lot of that adds character to it.
A site plan shows possible retail, a restaurant, and a coffee shop.
What is it you're trying to bring?
Yeah, so really just walkability for the residents in the area. We really want something that when you drive by it, you see it, and you're thinking, man, whatever I'm doing right now, I'd rather be there.
It's those driving customers that seem to drive concern during the zoning deliberations. Part of the development includes a parking lot back toward neighboring homes.
They aren't the best petri dish for the nighttime activity that goes on around there.
Parking can be a sore issue because of the packed weekend nights. The local councilwoman, though, says they worked out a compromise.
It includes an 8-foot masonry wall to protect the residents there, as well as the parking lot will have a gate and it will close at midnight.
Womack confirmed the midnight gate closure and the wall, though it would just be along part of the lot. He said the point is for parking to be for the customers of the new businesses, not nearby bars.
Most private businesses, when you pull up to the parking lot, it says towing enforced for patrons only.
Though city staff recommended against rezoning for the parking area, the city council granted it last month. Womack says construction on the project could start in the spring to summer of next year.
And that was Garrett Barringer reporting. So could the speed limit soon get lowered in parts of San Antonio? So that could be decided today. So we told you about District 7 Councilwoman Marina Alarete Gavito proposing a policy that would reduce the default speed limit in neighborhoods from 30 miles per hour to 25.
Well, her council consideration request, or CCR, would prioritize neighborhoods within a quarter-mile radius of schools, community centers, and also parks. So this all taking place today, 2 o'clock, the City Council meeting. The Transportation and Infrastructure Committee will hold its regular meeting at City Hall. And of course, we're going to keep you updated on the councilwoman's request here.
For now, it's 9:39 and we're at 41 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
Okay, coming up in just a bit. If you haven't started Christmas shopping yet, this guy right here, it's okay because you may want to wait until you hear this. There are a ton of ways that you can save this year and things you can do to shop smarter this holiday season. Stephanie is going to explain after the break. 9:43, welcome back to GMSA at 9 o'clock. Well, if you're trying to cross off some of the last names on your holiday list or haven't even started shopping, you're still in luck.
Yeah, you still have a chance. That's because Consumer Reports says that December is packed with chances to save, and knowing when to shop can make all the difference. December brings wave after wave of discounts, but timing matters.
So after Cyber Monday, which falls at the very beginning of the month, I'd say the most important day in December is Free Shipping Day. That is your last day to get everything guaranteed to your house by Christmas Eve.
If you miss that deadline, you can still shop online, but it can cost you.
You may be looking at paying extra in shipping costs to get it there in time, or playing that risky little game of, is it going to get there in time or not?
And if you're truly cutting it close, there's one more major milestone, and that is Super Saturday, the last Saturday before Christmas. You may have missed the window for home delivery, but you can still order online from your local store and do a pickup.
That way you don't really have to face the crowds quite as much. You can run in, get into that customer service line, pick up stuff that's already paid for, and get out and get back in your car and get home.
But what if that special gift you really, really wanted wasn't under the tree?
Once the holidays are over, the deals don't stop. A lot of retailers will discount things because they're clearing out inventory to make room for the new year.
And if a gift doesn't fit or it's just not your style,
a lot of retailers have extended return policies for the holidays that stretch into January, either halfway through the month or all the way to the end of the month. Make sure you familiarize yourself with the retailer's policies. Everyone is a little bit different.
Wishing you some happy holiday shopping. Here's another idea, a gift for all the book lovers in your life. The San Antonio Public Library is offering a limited time package that you can give for the holidays. So you can get a special library card, stickers, and a lot more for a special someone that by visiting any location.
Okay, pretty cool. But the best part, it's all free and you can grab up to 5 cards for loved ones while these supplies last. As a reminder, SAPL offers over 200,000 ebooks and audiobooks, as well as access to free events for all ages.
Speaking of Christmas, Santa Claus is working overtime now, and when it isn't at the workshop, he's taking pictures with all of you.
Yeah, he's making a lot of trips back to the North Pole, back here to the Alamo City. Right now on KSAT.com, we have a full list where you can catch Santa and get some family pictures taken. Some locations, though, they do require making a reservation, so just make sure to call ahead of time before taking that trip out there to meet Santa.
Yeah, definitely call or check online. You don't want to wait in the other line. I've done it.
Whoa, the other line.
Yeah,
okay.
well, I don't know.
The shame line?
Well, something like that. Some of them, like, they'll have like 2 separate lines, like, oh, you already reserved online or whatever. And then I go to the shame line where, no, I did not reserve on time.
Yeah, and those lines get long. I mean,
yes,
everybody
they
wants
do.
to see Santa. We have a lot of, asks
Yeah.
this time of year.
We do.
Yeah, okay, so it is feeling a little bit more like winter. We're actually not quite officially there yet. Of course, winter starts in late December, but feels a lot like it this morning. Temperatures have been in the 30s and 40s. I want to take you across the country. 16 in Omaha right now, 12 in Minneapolis. Those are places that we're closing in on single digits this morning. So it's not just us. There's a lot of cold air across the nation. 18 right now in Chicago. The one spot, as we've been saying all morning, where it's balmy and warm, 82 right now in Miami. Sounds kind of nice, doesn't it? With the 30s and 40s that we have here in Texas. I don't know, maybe you like this weather. A lot of people are enjoying this cold snap that we've been seeing. And you look at the departure from average, and a lot of places are indeed below average with these numbers, including here in Texas. So you can see kind of where that cold air mass has settled in, and then it will slowly kind of dissipate. And we'll get briefly some warmer weather back here in the country before another blast of cold air comes in on Thursday. This is the big picture. You got clouds and snow up across the Rocky Mountains, nothing here in Texas, and then a big storm system here on the East Coast. And this is the one that is going to cause traffic issues and airport issues today, with snow streaming in from New York to Boston, just north of Philly. And so the snow's flying this morning there in Boston. It's just reached Boston, and this will continue to push off the East Coast a little bit later this afternoon, but a busy day up there across the Northeast. All right, outside here, we've got some high clouds, but all in all, some nice weather. Still a little bit on the cold side. 41 degrees at the airport, 41 at New Braunfels and at Converse. 39 right now at Bernie, and there still are wind chills in the 30s. So if you step outside, it still feels like 36. So even as these temperatures climb with this bit of breeze, it just makes it feel a little bit cooler. 52 noontime, 58 at 2 o'clock. 59 will be our high temperature today, and high temperatures will climb to 65 tomorrow, which is right at about average, but then we drop off again. Thursday is that day where we see the cold front, so we're back in the 40s there. 50 Friday, another kind of chilly day, and then Saturday temperatures shoot up above average to 70. So that's that back and forth. It's going to be kind of confusing on what to wear this week. Futurecast shows clouds rolling in as we get into tomorrow. So it turns cloudy by tomorrow afternoon, the indication that some moisture is trying to work back in. And then here comes our front. And as it moves in, we'll start to see showers developing really behind it. And by the way, this is 6 a.m. Thursday morning, so we're talking sunrise Thursday. That's when winds pick up. That's when the cold air starts to move in, and then you start to get these showers. These little disturbances that roll through that will bring rain, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder, but mainly just light rain. And then even in between these bouts of rain, we may see some drizzle, just be kind of damp and just one of those days. Even going into Friday, we'll see a couple more little disturbances rolling through. And then I think by Friday afternoon, or Friday evening really, skies may start to clear, and then we'll get that sun over the weekend, which will warm us up. How much rain are we going to see? The short answer is not much. It's going to be light stuff. So I'm talking a tenth of an inch up to half an inch at best. The bigger totals are going to be off to our east. So this is not an event in which we will fill up the rain gauges, unfortunately, but every little bit counts, I suppose, as we get towards the end of the year. 65 tomorrow, increasing clouds. Front comes through, windy, cold, drizzle, light showers Thursday, and part of Friday. We're only going to get up to 50 on Friday, but the payoff here is the weekend. So morning fog Saturday, but we make it up to 70, 68 Sunday. Great for the marathon with temperatures in the 50s for most of the run. And then 60s during the afternoon. Another front works through, but this one is not as strong Sunday into Monday, which will cool us down only a little bit to start next week.
What a nice roller coaster there.
It is. I don't know if nice is the right adjective for it.
Something for everybody.
Days like Thursday are not my favorite, but some people love them. I don't know.
But it's temporary. It's not like it would be like Thursday for like 4 or 5 days.
True.
That would be difficult.
That's why we live in South Texas.
Yeah,
and the marathon's going to look good.
Yay.
It is.
That's good.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Okay.
Also, our friends at SA Live,
Yes.
yeah.
All right, they got a lot going on. I know Jen, I talked to her before the show, so they have a special guest in the house, so let's check things out.
You
Jen,
want to see?
how are you
Look,
looking?
right there he is. There he is.
Oh, there he is. Awesome.
Yes, we got Paul Rodriguez, also Dr. Jose Luis Ruiz, and the director of the new film, The Dreamer Cinderella. So we are excited to have you guys here today. Let's talk a little bit about the movie coming out.
Well, you know, it's I don't need to tell your viewers that Hollywood is not exactly doing a lot of Latino theme films, but Dr. Ruiz and myself were believers that God helps those who help themselves. So we decided to get together and do this movie, and it's turned out quite well. You know, we were in Houston yesterday. There was very good reception, And it's basically your basic love story, you know, with a twist, you know. But it's the oldest story ever told, love between
a beautiful Cinderella story, you know, of a fruit vendor.
Yeah.
That by one of those things that happen in life gets offered the opportunity to become a star, a film star.
But I play the fruit girl. For those of you who are interested,
I was going to ask, is that
very good looking fruit girl.
You know, I don't want to brag, but the cleavage in this dress is fantastic. You know,
we have an amazing cast. You know,
Riley Rodriguez, who's
Riley,
from San
a
Antonio.
local town. Yeah.
Yes.
Tara Reid, Paul Johansson, and many other really amazing performers. And you know, the story is full of emotion and it's very now, because the core of the story is this young lady who is struggling with being a dreamer in the complexity that some people they are aware of, how difficult sometimes it can be to be a dreamer.
We don't want to ruin the story, but she gets deported by the Trump administration. And she never comes back. All stories end, with a happy ending. Not this one.
And the story.
Yeah.
Okay,
no, it's a Cinderella story.
Well, and I'm happy that you guys are here and you're going to screen it here in San Antonio. I know you were in Houston, but
we were in Houston last night.
Better here in San Antonio.
That's why we both look drunk.
I know.
But we drove last night and we got here, and San Antonio has always been a very special place for me. I
love San Antonio.
I came here as a young man to the Air Force. I was stationed at Lackland Air Force Base, and it lacked everything, and it still does, I think. But I did my time here. I spent some time here. I have a lot of great memories and a lot of friends here, so it's always like coming home.
That's amazing. Lackland. How about that? Well, we're not done talking, so you guys got to stick around, and we are going to do more chatting here and talk about the movie and how you can watch it. Stay with us.